How to get your first high-ticket closing for your rendering service. Are you someone that always struggling with your pricing point when it comes for your rendering service, and somehow your client always asking for a lower and lower price? Hey, Ronaldo here, and in this video I want to share with you how I can get my first high ticket closing for my rendering service. So back on 2011, which is the first time I got my first job in this industry, which is the dream job, which is I work with international client, and I charge for $500. And the question is, why $500? Well, the answer is easy, because most of my friends asking for 300 or 400, and as you know, I was a broke freelancer, and somehow I thought that if I can charge another $100 extra, I will have a better life than them, because they already have a decent life and better life. So why not I charge another $100? And the other reason is also charging for another $100 is to give a room for negotiation. So probably I will end up with 400. And it's also because the other thing is because most of the developer in Indonesia is not willing to pay those kind of price that time. And the big developer is actually didn't have the trust working with the local. Well, that's reality. So that is why I have all my client is actually from the other company, from the other country. And the second big question is $500 is considered as a high ticket closing? Definitely no. So I have a very interesting story back on 2011. So one of my ex-client when I working as an interior design and build, which is he is a marketing consultant for a big company, and he asked me like this: hey Ronaldo, if you are charging for $500 per image, have you ever calculated these several things? First, have you ever calculated the software subscription? Because I know that you have mentioned to me it's not just one software, it's like minimum 2 software. Have you ever calculated the cost for the subscription? And then the second question is, have you ever calculate your own salary and how many images that you can sell in 1 month? And then the third question is, have you ever calculate the return of investment of your computer? And the fourth question, even though you are working from your own house, have you ever calculate the cost of renting your own house as an office? And those 4 questions is like a big slap on the face, because I never calculate that. All I ever think that if I can sell like 6 images, I will get 3,000, which is 3,000 if you calculate with the exchange rate is a very good money in Indonesia at that time. And I started to do some research, and I found out that there are lots of big company out there is charging like minimum 5 times higher than my price. That is the minimum. Some of them is actually like 8 or even 10 times higher. And I started to think and ask to myself how I can reach that kind of price. So I come up with some solution, and I can come up with some, I don't know how to say it, but a conclusion. So I thought that if I want to charge as high as them, I have to create my own company, because the big client always only want to work with the big company, not with the freelancer. So I started to think how I can build my own company, and by raising my price step by step. So in this today, I want to share with you how I can sell my first high ticket closing or for my rendering service. Tips number 1 is choose your target market wisely. Target market is not just about the location of the country. Yes, I know like UK is paying more money than the other country, but if you are not giving a good services or offering good services and good quality rendering, chances are you will end up the same client, like only want to pay you with a very less price. And the second one is about the pricing point. The pricing point is going to reflect the quality of your rendering, right? Let's face it, if we say, okay, I will charge like 250 or 300 bucks, definitely we will say, I'm not going to go higher than this quality because the client only deserves this quality for this price. And chances are all of your portfolio going to have this kind of quality, and the client that willing to pay higher price is not going to select the image or our portfolio. So definitely going to attract the same client that only value your rendering based on your pricing. And those kind of client is not someone that you want to serve. So definitely you need to make sure your price point is quite high, like let's say 2,500 US, and you need to make sure that the quality of your rendering is matched with your price. Tips number 3 is about your product. What is your products? I always ask this to all of my students. What is your product? When they come to me, how much that I have to charge, and or they always frustrated with the pricing, they always complaining about the client didn't want to pay higher. I always ask, what is your product? And they say, the rendering. Well, if you charge high price for the rendering itself, is more like commodity. Chances are it's like selling like commodity, like selling like this shirt. I'm not going to willing to pay a higher price because I see this as a commodity. If someone selling this shirt to me as a lifestyle from a certain big brand, definitely I will pay. So you need to think about your service. What kind of service that can be your product, which is a service that can give a good solution to your client, and then the client will willing to pay. Okay, and the next tips, which is the last tips, is to always build relation with your client first. Even though they are asking how much is your rendering price, it depends how you respond to their question. If every time you always answering with the same what they are asking, which is the price, chances are they will compare your price with the other company. There are lots of people out there or company out there with chances are they are always a better quality rendering from several company with a way much lower price than me, right? So why they have to choose you if you only give the price? So definitely answer them with what kind of solution or what kind of things that you want to solve for your problem. So I always asking their problem and their pain and what kind of solution that I can think to help them to generate result for them. So when building this kind of relation, when they are really comfortable with my character, when they are really comfortable with the way I build relation with them, chances are they will 95% they will give the job to me, even though my price is higher than anybody else, as long it's still reasonable. So those are the tips, and I even cannot remember how many tips they are because if I talk something about business, it always makes me enjoying the topic of the business. and forgot how many tips that I always mention. And one thing that I always want to make sure that the FIDE allow you to create a very high quality to support your service. Definitely good service need to be reflected on your image. So those are the tips that I will be able to share with you today. And if you like and enjoy this video and you think that this video brought value to you, please like, share and comment and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to tag your friend as many as possible so they can have the same benefit as you by looking this video. And I'll see you on the next video.